YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel on the web for all things geeky and cool, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to a brand new video review. I'm doing something completely out of my comfort zone, something I normally don't talk about on my channel, yet I've talked about Iron Maiden before. Love the band, the very classic metal band, hard rock. If you're not familiar with them, they came out in the late 70s, really had prominence in the 80s, and they're still hot to this day. They're still putting out new music. Great band. If you never watched Iron Maiden before or listened to them, I highly recommend them. But this is something a little bit different. I normally do pop culture stuff, things like subscription unboxing videos, Funko reviews, action figure breakdowns, statue reviews, and toy hunting, just to name a few things I do on my channel. This is something I normally don't do. This is a beer product, adult beverage, if you will. But I said, you know what, this is very cool because this has a collectible aspect to it. And there's another product which we'll talk about in a later video, which I can think is even more highly collectible than even this version of the product. Of course, we're talking about Iron Maiden's beer called the Trooper. I'll put a picture up of their normal beer called the Trooper, and you can get these in bottles. I have not seen them in cans. Usually you can get them at specialty shops, like your ABC Liquors, your Total Wine. Those are places you can go to get this sort of product, and what they call a imported beer. I have not yet seen it really sold anywhere except a specialty store. You can't go to, let's say, a bar and say, I want a Trooper beer. As far as I've seen it, I've never seen that for a sports bar. Nothing along those lines to get this sort of product. And I think what Maiden has done here is took the same brand of the Trooper, the same beer, and just reskinned it and put it in this packaging with different labeling and a little story to go along with this beer, why they made this beer. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the whole idea of this beer was that they had a concert in Mexico within the last year or two, and they said, you know what, we want to make some specialty labeled Trooper beer for it, and they created something called the Day of the Dead, which is this beer here, this labeling, and this really cool packaging, which we'll talk about that shortly. First, I want to showcase off the beer itself. I'll get up close shots of this. I'll take a drink of it, let you know, is it really the same Trooper beer? I think it is. I don't know. I haven't tasted it yet, so I don't know. What they did do, which is something cool, which comes from the collectible aspect of this as well. If you look here, you see the the 2 minutes to midnight on top of this bottle, on the Day of the Dead bottle. And it's a very cool thing they did with these particular bottles of the Trooper, where there's 18 different tops of these beer bottles. What a lot of people on Etsy are doing now, they're doing Eddie murals with these 18 spots, and there's different people putting up different artwork for Eddie. There'll be spots you can plug all 18 beer toppers in to make your own little picture, which is very cool from a collectibles perspective of it. People are selling on eBay now, all 18 caps in place with the cool artwork. This is not something that was sponsored by Iron Maiden. These are people that are creative and creating these to basically sell them as a business model. That's a very cool idea. I like what they did. So Day of the Dead, again, was the idea, I think, as I mentioned, I think it's a reskin of the Trooper beer. Again, I'll put a picture up of the original Trooper bottle so you can see what it looks like. It's a dark brewed beer. It has a very strong taste. I believe the alcohol on this, if I could be wrong, I think it's 4.7 on this bottle. So the bottle itself, very cool. Let's take a look at the packaging here. This is, of course, the Day of the Dead packaging. Now, price for this, so you know, is $6.99 US, $6.09 per bottle. This you could purchase at the same location where I got this one. Also, they sell these in cases of 12. And since there's 18 toppers, you can't get a full case of these toppers in one package. You have to go to get a second box and get individual ones you need. And it might have duplicates in those 12 bottles. I think I saw a couple when I cracked open a new case at the store. I think they had that. But this one here is the same packaging as this one with different bottle tops, and I think the label is just a little bit different for the font. So this is what the packaging looks like. This was sold for $16.99. This really cool Coffin packaging. It does say Trooper all over it. The same verbiage on the back of the bottle is right here. If you want to pause it, I'll get up close shots of it. I'll get some B-roll if you can see what it looks like. But I do like the artwork of Eddie here with the really cool, I think it's a scythe in his hands. It's a pickaxe with his cool top hat right there. Very cool version of Eddie. Let me crack open the packaging so you can see what the inside looks like, because you guys are probably going to say to yourself, well, Rook, well, what's the inside of this packaging looks like? Glad you asked that question. So let's take a look here of the inside. I just think it's, the only reason I really bought this was the artwork itself. I thought it looked really good. Again, this was $7. This, of course, was $16. So when you crack open the packaging, literally what you get is two bottles, again, with a divider in the middle, with the Trooper right here. So you get basically this. I'll get an up-close shot again of what it looks like. Now, as I mentioned, there's different bottle tops. I specifically grabbed one of the bottles out of the loose 12-pack to get this one right here, because I wanted Fear of the Dark. So that's the Fear of the Dark label top right there. I thought I wanted that one. I thought it looked really, really cool. There's just a little divider here of cardboard. This is basically just a cardboard box, just in the shape of a coffin. I just like what they did. I thought it was very, very cool. And this one, of course, is the number of the beast on this one. So I got 3 different bottle tops of the 18. I thought it was very, very cool. Again, same packaging here. I believe this is the one that came out of the other package. This is the one that came in the package itself. This goes for this box. This one here, as you can see, the font is a little bit different. I've got, again, up close shots of them. The font's just a little bit different between the 2 packaging. It's the same beer, but it's sold a little bit different for the font between the package of the coffin and the individual bottle here. But again, I thought it was just a very cool idea that Maiden did here to have this packaging. It is just a cardboard box, but I just thought it was a very, very cool cardboard box. Again, for the point of collectability, I think it's very, very cool. I'm very surprised that Maiden came out with something like this. Let's take a drink now and see what this thing tastes like. So let's put this over here. I got my little Ghostbuster Slimer. So we're going to try to open this somewhat carefully because these beer toppers here are really in high demand. I think you could probably sell one of these, just the topper itself, for like $3 or $4 just for the beer topper itself. So this is like $3 or $4 just for the 2 minutes to midnight right here. So I've had Trooper beer before. I know what it tastes like. I'm gonna see if this tastes just like the Trooper I had before. Let me take a sip here and see what we got here. Yep. This is Trooper beer. It's a dark brew. It has a savory taste. I won't say it's super strong if you've never had beer. Again, it's a darker beer. Tastes good. If you're looking for a good beer, not a heavy alcohol taste to it, not too bad. It is a dark beer. Again, the packaging, the back of it, if you want to read anything, because there's a story, and I'll pause it so you can take a look, especially on the back of the coffin here. It's the same thing that's on this, that's on that. So again, I'll pause it so you can take a read of it. They really talk about the Day of the Dead. That's a big thing down in Mexico. If I remember correctly, it's Deva de la Muertes, which is the Day of the Dead. So it's a whole Mexican tradition. Very, very cool thing that they did with Iron Maiden. Again, this, at least from what I think this personally is just a reskin of the Trooper beer with this labeling and presentation. Same beer, same taste, different packaging. So I hope you do like this video review of the Trooper Day of the Dead specialty beer. Remember to give a video a like at the bottom page. Click that all-important subscribe button with a picture of my face. When you subscribe to the channel, click the bell to be notified of my latest videos. Of course, last but not least, click the windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys. See you next video. And bye-bye.